Hello, it's Monica again from Burnt Earth Pottery here in Brooks, Alberta. Today I'm going to be showing you some carving and some stamp making. Let's start with carving. So I'm going to take my clay tile that I have here. Maybe you made a cup or an elephant or you made a tray. What you're going to do is you're going to take the surface you want to carve into and you're going to cover it in underglaze. On this first tile, I'm doing a circular gradient from white to blue to yellow. Once you've painted your piece the color that you want, you can set it aside and let the underglaze dry. On the next tile, I'm going from red to yellow to green. You don't want to carve into clay that is too soft, so I recommend letting your clay sit for a bit to stiffen. Okay, here what I did is I cut out an image that I drew out and I just placed it on my clay and I used a safety pin or a tack and I just poked holes around it just for a good outline to follow. There are a lot of tools you could use for carving. You could use a sgraffito tool or a pencil or a skewer or toothpick, a knife, or if you have any, some clay tools. Here I'm using the sgraffito tool and I am just removing the clay around the outline of my seagull. To make my seagull pop even more, I am going to carve out the background. For my second example, I am just going to freehand some flowers, starting off with the center and just adding the petals. Again, I'm going to carve out the background and add some small details. And that's a fun way to add a colorful carving to your creation. Next, let's do some stamps. Starting with a skewer, I am just going to make a little heart shape. Here I'm going in with one of my clay tools. This one could be replaced with a butter knife, and I am just smushing down the clay around the heart. It is best not to use clay that is too soft, so I recommend letting the clay sit for a while to stiffen before using it to make stamps. Now I cut off any excess clay. For the next stamp, I'm using a pencil just to draw out the design. And then I can go in with the knife and just carve out the clay that I don't want. Or, instead of the knife, I could use a sgraffito tool. I carve out the dots on the mushroom, making sure they are not on the same level as the background. I smooth over the roughness in the spots with a rounded tool and clean up the edges of my mushroom. For the third stamp, I am again using a point to draw out my image. And then I use a sgraffito tool to carve out the background. And again, I use a flat tool to clean up the background and clean up the edges of the cactus. Carve and make stamps with clay. Here I'm using a softer clay just to show you what they would look like. You can make plants, animals, letters. If you do make letters, you want to make sure that you make them mirrored so that when you stamp them out, they will be in the right direction. If you wanted to try this project at home, here at Burnt Earth Studios, we do sell clay at $1 per pound. You can get a pallet of underglaze for $15 and there is a $10 refill. You could also rent out a sgraffito tool for $5. Thanks for watching our carving and stamps tutorial. Until next time!